Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the Tuesday topic, and we've had a video in from Jezza. Jezza there in Australia. Where's he from, Bears? Alice Springs. Where's he from?
Australia.
Oh, it's just from a land down under. Here you go.
Hey guys, Jeremy here from Australia. Based on our performance on the pitch and results, what do you think Marco Silva needs to achieve in order to keep his job? What will it take for him to get fired, and how long will that take? And what would he need to achieve in order to maybe get poached by a bigger club? Cheers.
You flaming galah.
Oh, thanks for that tremendous Tuesday topic there.
Sustaining.
All the way from Ramsey Street.
Sustaining.
It's a staying in, mate.
Jeremy, thank you very much.
You've got to say mate at the end of it.
Mate.
You've got to say mate.
Okay.
Mate.
Yeah.
Mate. Oh, mate. It's like...
Yeah. Let's... So should we do it?
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Thank you very much. As always, we want you to send your videos in to us so we can do videos on your topics. It's your topics. Anything though, not only Tuesday topics, just any questions. We want to start a Q&A video from your videos. You send your videos in, we do the quick answer, and then bang bang bang, try and do about 3 or 4, 5 different questions on that one video. But anything you want to talk about, just send it in, and we'll do either a Tuesday topic on it or just a video on it, and we'll put it out.
Also, get your stories in. If you, especially if you're watching from all over the world, why Everton, why you watch them. Yeah. Even if you're in Liverpool, how did you support Everton, why whatever, get them in. Let's get you more involved. Anyway.
Exactly. So, this is a good question. Everton finishing, let's say 8th, and winning a trophy to Everton getting into the Champions League effectively. It's always the question, this, isn't it? It's always a difficult question.
It is. I think straight off the bat you want to just go Champions League, because...
Don't mention bats, because bats means cricket. Cricket means 5-0 to England for the Owl. Cricket!
Sorry, Jez.
Don't mention Peru either.
I won't. No.
Keep on.
Timmy. So you look at it like that and go, well, we'll be in the Champions League then, and the money and the riches, and that is... It was said a few years ago, I don't know whether it was Arsene Wenger that said it, it's the fourth is like winning a trophy now, getting in that because of everything that comes with it. Of course. So it's difficult to pass that opportunity up, because that will quite clearly show progression, big progression, I would say. But then that's only good if you sustain it, isn't it, really? I think the flip side to that, obviously 8th and winning a trophy, getting that real monkey off our back of winning a trophy. I mean, we spoke to Derek Monfield at length, and he went on about winning that first trophy, so you feel like winners and you remember how to win. And I think, I said at the time, us as fans, I think we've forgotten how to win as well. Do you know what I mean? Everything's like, I mean, I can't imagine now the knife edge we'd all be on if we had a big prize to go for again, because every year it heightens that pressure, doesn't it? I mean,
I was thinking when Derek was in, something that sprung to mind was that we'd been in 5 cup finals in 11 years. 5 FA Cup finals, was it? In 11 years.
In 11 years, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we'd won 2 of them.
13 cup finals altogether.
13 FA Cup
in 11 years. That's incredible. And yet we only won.
We won 2 of them, yeah.
So
first and the last.
We won 3 altogether.
Oh,
your FA Cup, European Cup.
Sorry, I thought you meant FA Cup. It's FA Cup.
So yeah, no, he's right though. He said, I'm going back to what he said as well. As he said, being in that Milk Cup final helped them realise that they were good enough to be in, and that relaxed them maybe for the FA Cup final in '84, and then '85 seemed a lot easier because of that. And you're right. I think it's a difficult one, this, because for me, I'd say I want the trophy. But when it's actually going on, see, this is a different. After the fact, you go, oh, we finished 8th and we won a trophy. Ah, brilliant. But when it's actually happening, do you actually feel like that? Because in Martinez's last year, we got to two semi-finals, yet we were all tearing our hair out. Now, what would have, after the Derby game, we were all calling for him to go and stuff like that, which I still think he should have gone after the Derby, and you know, we would have gone into the semi-final with a little bit, because I remember going into the semi-final and it was toxic. It was horrible, where I was in Wembley, it was toxic. People fighting within each other, and it's a semi-final, and then you seen the stuff with Ross Barkley in the tunnel and stuff at half time, and how that had affected him as a player, and it didn't need to happen, and what could have happened was he could have been sacked after the Derby, and that could have ended it. But saying all that, if we had got to the final and we had won the final and we'd had a bit of a tough season but we'd won it, everyone would have gone, well, this is, we finished 8th or we finished 11th, but we've won a cup, and it's all right, it's not a problem. But when you're actually in it, you don't feel like that. And don't forget the FA Cup. Let's just say it's the FA Cup. It is the last game of the season, so you've got all that drama. Simplest way: go win the League Cup. It's in February. It's in February. Get that out the way, and I'll take that, and I'll finish it. I'll take finishing 8th then. That's an easy little run-in. You've won your cup. You've got into Europe. You're like, yeah, done the business. Everyone's bouncing for the rest of the season. It's sad, but that's the problem. It's just that FA Cup, because it's the last game of the season. It all rides on that being that, and it depends. I mean, it depends though. Sometimes you can have a good season, finishing 8th, but again, it's all about how you do it, how you get to that journey. If everyone's happy and everyone's behind it, I'll go back to '95 very briefly. The league campaign was tough. It was different than the FA Cup, and the FA Cup was your relief. FA Cup, yes, I'm playing a bit of footy today, Anders on one side. Back to the league, oh, it's tough, dogs of war, in for a battle. FA Cup, there was a relief to it. So maybe if the journey's like that, you don't mind as much. But going back to the Martinez era, it was a little bit, everything was just a little bit.
I think the thing with Martinez era was there was no progression whatsoever. We started off obviously really well in that, but then it was going the other way. It was going the wrong way, and we weren't used, let's be honest, we weren't used to being mid-table. With Moyes, it was the top 7, 8, okay, he had a couple of seasons in 11. Other than that, we were top 6, 5. So when Martinez come in and we play some great football, and let's be honest, we blew that. We were in the Champions League places, we blew it near the end of the season. You know, getting beat by Palace at home and losing at Southampton. We were the one that we shot ourselves in the foot. We were in it. But then after that, it got worse. So that's why we were going that way. If it had been an upward trajectory and we had that where, you know what I mean, where we were bobbing along 8th, but in them 2, playing good football, everyone would have been all over it. It's difficult because years ago the FA Cup was seen as a springboard. So when Everton won the FA Cup in '84, everyone talked about it as that's the springboard now for them to go and improve and be a better team. '95 was exactly the same. Won the FA Cup in '95, went and bought Andrei Kanchelskis. People were like, this side's moving now, they've won a trophy, there's a bit of money in, they're playing good football. When teams win it now, the FA Cup, it's a bit, maybe it's just because it's the bigger team, like it's the top teams that have been winning it lately. It's kind of seen as like, oh yeah, they've won the FA Cup.
Do you know what? Just so on the FA Cup's weird, right? Because it's not a prize that people feel as the importance that it used to, yet the top 4 sides win it. Like,
that's all.
And maybe it's almost like, and maybe we've lost that because we've lost something. Because for years, it was, for a few years there, it was like, it's not important anymore. And then, but maybe a couple of lesser teams won it, like Wigan or Portsmouth, saying it was like, oh, it doesn't matter now. And then the top sides were like, well, we need to win something, keep everything going. And it's like, it's weird, isn't it? Because it's like the top, we just don't have that, and maybe we've lost that balance. I think how it's perceived, I think there's a lot of, I think just in general, I mean, I didn't even watch the FA Cup final this year. It was no interest to me.
I watched it, but it's, I think it's perception's the big thing, but there's so much importance placed on the Champions League. That's the real key issue. That top 4 in the Premier League sometimes is almost more important than the actual winning of the league, if you know what I mean. team that wins the league, but everyone's talking about getting into the top 4, just staying in the top 4, where the FA Cup is just seen as, oh yeah, well they've won it. It's the trophy thing is really difficult because we do need to win a trophy. We need to break something. If we're not going to win the league, we need to go after one or the other 2 trophies and be able to win it. But I think if you sat Marco Silva in here or Farhad Moshiri, they'd say, oh, Champions League.
But I think a lot of it's got to do with the where you are on the journey as well.
Yeah.
So if you had Pochettino and you said to him, well, where would you rather? What would you rather do? Spurs as a club would probably go, well, we need Champions League football. It's what grows you into the upper echelons of football the way it is now. But he still needs to win a trophy, doesn't he? It's that. And at the end of
I'd say the same with Klopp.
Yeah,
Liverpool are going in the right direction. There's no question about that. They're going in the right direction, moving forward. But he's lost 6 finals on the run. He's had 3 finals with Liverpool and lost them all. If they don't do something this season, it's his 4th season. If he hasn't won anything, what does that kind of say? Because people will be looking and going, well, what's he actually doing? Because Rodgers had us close to win the league and blah blah blah. Pochettino's exactly the same. We all know he's a great manager. Spurs play great football. Everything's moving in the right direction, but you need that. But you need that trophy just to go, well, we've won that. We're a good side, but we've won that.
But yet, Wenger won it 3 times.
3 and 4 years, yeah.
3 and 4 years. And
but he got stick. He got stick because of where Arsenal had been. And yet he got stick as well. I felt unfairly because he had them in the top 4.
But what I was going to say is though, I understand why Arsenal fans moan about that because at first it was, well, it's the league, and the next minute it was like, well, it's the Champions League, and it was just like you were falling because every time. I mean, this will be something like Neville Southall says. If you don't aim for the top. If you aim, you might fall short, but if you fall short, then you might be 2nd or 3rd. Once you start saying, well, I want to finish 4th, then if you fall short of 4th, then you're 5th or 6th, and that's where Arsenal find themselves. But in the meantime, if you're winning a trophy to just keep things ticking over, I think that's what all good the top managers do. That's where people like Jose Mourinho have been very, very good, and that's why he always says like the League Cup's his first one, because it's about getting that one trophy, getting over the line, and then you go from there. And it's
and people believe in you because you've won the trophy.
And that's what Ferguson did every year as well. I know he mostly won the Premier League, but he kept it ticking over all the time by making sure that there was always something, whether it be a League Cup or whatever. There's always something in the back to just make sure that they want to go, well, we've won a trophy, won a trophy, because you can't have years without a trophy. I know the situation's slightly different for us. I just, after 20 years, put it this way, right? If we got into the Champions League, the bed sheets would still be coming out at the derby, wouldn't they? Even if we were in the Champions League, the bed sheets would still come out without the.
Of course, but that's footy, isn't it? That's just the way it is. It's at the end of the day. I suppose we've got to ignore things like the bed sheets, haven't we, and progress as a club. I think if sometimes we're too much about what other people's opinions of us are, which kind of shapes the way our opinions of ourselves is as well. Whereas you're right, we should be, where do you expect that? What should Everton's aim be under Marco Silva next season? Should be to win the league. It should be to win the league.
But
right now, if you're right, if we set out to win the title, we might finish 7th or 8th or whatever, but who knows, you might finish 3rd or 4th. You never ever know, but it's going to be difficult.
I always think of the thing they had at Old Trafford. Remember the thing that said so many years since Man City had won a league, and it was like the clock thing.
Ticking, yeah.
And then when they got that first trophy, it was like they did their own, like. And that to me is a way that with the trophy, it's like it's a reset button.
It is.
If you can get that trophy, then you've got, like, because at the moment everyone's like, it's 23 years, 24 years since we've won a trophy. That's all. No one ever says it's been 14 years since we qualified for the Champions League, do they? So that's, to me, is why a trophy's so important.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it is really, really important. Liverpool have been in the Champions League a few times in the last 15 years, whatever, 12 years, 13 years, and yet they've only won one trophy in the last, it's going to be 13 years before they've got the opportunity to break that. They've won one League Cup on penalties against a first, you know, a championship side. You forget that because they've been in and around the Champions League places and stuff like that, but when push comes to shove, they still only won one trophy in 13 years, which isn't good enough for Liverpool. No trophies in, or one trophy in 25 years for Everton, just off, you know, it's longer than that, but the last 25 years we've only won one FA Cup. Okay, won a Charity Shield as well, but so that's far too long for us. So you're right, we need to break that. The League Cup at Beyond, we've never won it, so it's history. It's making history by winning it. There's only 3 domestic trophies you can win, so to win one of them, you've done something right. 8th position, I think the problem you'd have with 8th position is that nobody would see it as progress, because what you'd get is people going, Allardyce finished 8th, right? Outside people. But if we'd done 8th position playing good football, and we were all looking and going, I can see where this is going now, he's got this done, you know what I mean? And you were going, if we just had him and him and him, tell you what, we're going to be pushing higher up. I think people are buying into that as well. But
it's, I suppose, it's in its, whatever position is, it doesn't really matter. In its isolation, it doesn't really matter. Your last game of the season is you picking up a trophy.
Oh, of course,
then,
it resets everything.
It resets, and then it, like,
picks everyone up.
I mean, when Everton finished 7th in '84.
7th, yeah.
Yeah, finished 7th, won the trophy. Next season went on to win the league. Have the best season ever, and it just because the other thing about it is as well, again, you know, that was a season where we started badly and then grew as players grew, and then we ended up winning a trophy. We ended up finishing the season strong, winning a trophy and taking that into the next season, and that sometimes can happen. 95, you know, we did the same. We started the season really, really badly. Joe Royle come in, and it was like, as I said, it was the league games were just, you just
get what you
got what you could, but then the FA Cup games, well, this is where we've got a chance to show what we can do. We're better than we show. The pressure's off. We can go out there and win it. And I suppose Martinez approached it a little bit like that. It was like, you know, when we won the semi-final against Man City at home, I mean, we should have won the semi-final away to them. You know, we were winning 3-1
with an hour left,
with an away goal,
with an hour left.
Do you know what I mean? We should have been good enough to stop them.
We should have been able to get a draw at least.
Yeah. Or
a 2-1. No, because 2-1 would took extra time. But we should have been able to just get a draw. We were 1-0 up after half an hour, so we were 3-1 up with an hour to go. Delafeu had a good chance, you know, but the manager made mistakes in that. You know, the Kone substitution.
Yeah.
You know, Sterling took the ball out of play.
Oh, of course,
so it shouldn't have been allowed and thing, exactly. But we also done the same. Martinez done the same in Kiev. They played the wrong team at home, wrong approach really, but then we went away and he definitely played the wrong team away. And we, you know, don't forget, in that Lukaku scores an absolute worldie after we can see the goal, and it should have been shut up shop, and it wasn't, because he didn't know how to. We got destroyed by a team who I'd seen at Goodison and thought, these are garbage, and they battered us in the second leg. So the opportunities were there. Man United at Wembley, you know, Lukaku moaning about winning trophies, and then has fluffed his lines 5 times on that day. You know, misses a penalty, goes down to keep it twice, misses. You know, just the day we needed them to turn up, we didn't. So there's been moments. 2012 semi-final against Liverpool, the worst Liverpool team I've seen in my lifetime. Yeah. And terrible. We were winning 1-0, and we should have, you know, we had them everywhere first half. Second half we come on, and yeah, you know, we just ridden the storm, and then Distan makes a mistake, you know, and then Coleman, 2009 Chelsea, you know, okay, we lost the whole backbone of the team, which probably, well, would have made a massive difference. But even then, our goalie throws one in at 1-1, and so the opportunity has been there to turn that. It's not like we've not got anywhere near it, but it's getting over the line. It's like Dexy said, it's believing in yourself, it's getting over that line, it's getting the fans to believe in you, and this is what we need as a club. We need to get, by hook or by crook, get that first trophy, because it'll kick us on a level. Listen, I'm not going to say we win the League Cup next year, but be second, but you don't know what that does.
It's
to
just
players.
a reset though, isn't it? And it takes the pressure off everybody, and certainly, you know, the manager. If a manager comes in and wins a trophy, then everyone goes, he's won a trophy, lads, it's time, we'll give him a bit of time, you know what I mean?
But he also needs time. The whole thing needs time.
But it's like at the moment, it's like Everton is like a pressure cooker at the moment though. Everything feels like a pressure cooker, and you just feel like that if a manager could get a trophy in his first year, then everyone would just go, relax.
Leave it. I think the thing as well though, I think you're dead right, that's exactly what we need, and we all crave it, you know, imagine us videos going through the cup fan, winning it and all the stuff. It'd be so exciting to be on that journey, wouldn't it, doing it a bit of a different, having an actual record of that journey, because everything we've done before, a bit like Derek was saying, everything's just up here really, isn't it, whereas but if you can, I think if our fans actually see where the project's going with it, I think that releases a lot of the pressure. I think what's happened is there's been initial frustration, then Moyes took over and people were like, this is alright, you know, and then the frustration was there because it never got any better. Not from David Moyes' point or the players, from the board. The money never got bigger to give to him, so that frustration grew, and it was all Bill Kenwright and the board, you know, whatever side of the fence you're on, he became the gripe, and that's fine. Then Moyes went and Martin has come in, and everyone, if you think about it, then everyone took the foot off the gas a little bit, and it was like, come on, let's get behind this, and it was great. It was great. And then that hit the bump in the road, so it went back onto the board. Then Farhad Moshiri come in, and we were all like, let's do it again, and we gave Koeman, even at the start when it was poor, people didn't really get on Koeman's back. It was just like, you know, hopefully this is going to happen. And then obviously we get to the summer and all that happens, and we kick off, and then the frustration levels are there now because we keep having false dawns. Whereas if Marco Silva comes in and he gets us playing nice football, I think everyone will go, alright, this is alright, you know, we're not there, but it looks, I can understand what we're doing, and if we have a lot of chances and create chances, I think our crowd will stay with that team, and then if we all back it, it snowballs.
I mean, on the flip side, the Champions League, listen, it's where everyone wants to be, and it's become the Premier trophy now. We understand that. We understand it's the Premier competition. Everyone wants to be in it, because it's not even about winning it now. Because that's the other thing, isn't it? It's like the Premier League. It sounds stupid, but it's like the Premier League. A lot of clubs go into it going, we don't actually think we can win the league, but we do think we can get into the Champions League, and if we get in the Champions League, then we're in the show. And then when they're in the Champions League, no one goes, no Spurs fan would have gone, oh, we can win this. They just go, we're in the Champions League. So that means that we have, you know, 6 guaranteed Champions League games, and Prestige. You know you're going to play a couple of top teams, and you might get one boss opportunity to go to the Bernabeu or the Nou Camp or whatever, and so you've got that, and then that brings the sponsors. You know that's going to it's going to mean that you can get a big shiny stadium a lot easier. You're going to get nice good kit deals. You've elevated, suddenly now you're seen as a Premier team. The Premier League isn't the Premier League teams. Your fans are everywhere because everyone is watching the Champions League, you know, because they don't want, whereas it used to be even maybe 10 years ago, where it was like, well, everyone has a Premier League club, but if they're in the Champions League, it doesn't matter. Now they're looking past the Premier League and going, well, if they've got an English club, they've got to be in the Champions League. So it's all these things. And then I suppose the next stage of that is, once you've been in for a while, then you might start dreaming, thinking, well, actually, let's see what we can do. But I don't think any Spurs or any Arsenal fan, I mean, they do. I wouldn't even have thought a Man City fan this last season would have thought we can win this when it first started.
Maybe. I don't think they did.
Oh, they do.
No.
They did pass. Come on.
They say it, but I don't think they did.
No, but I think
as it went on.
Alright, well, but I definitely think a Man City fan wouldn't have started the season. They would have got started the season going, win the league this season, but none of them go, win the Champions League this season. It just doesn't happen. They're just happy to be in it, and then it's almost that thing of, see, this is the thing. Imagine you ask this question as one of those teams. Alright, I know if you win the Champions League, you go back in it. If you don't finish in the top 4, but imagine that didn't happen, and suddenly the question was, would you rather win the Champions League and not qualify for it next year, or just be in it and be in it next year? And you know what? I bet loads of them would just go, just be in it and be in it next year, because it's just that continuation of that cycle,
reaffirmation, isn't it, of we're a big club, we're an important club,
exactly. And this has come into football hugely in the last 10-15 years. It's because what if the Champions League and the Premier League have done anything, what they've done is they've actually said it's not that important about winning things. It's important just being in this little club of people who take all the money. And that's what's actually took the shine off the FA Cup, is because, like we were saying before, the big teams are still winning the FA Cup, but the shine's being taken off it, because everyone's like, well, yeah, but we're not going to be following it all day, you know, like 9 o'clock start and all that nonsense. It's because we've got this other football, and actually when this finishes, the Champions League's on next week, the final, so this isn't that important. It's not like this is the last game till August now, till the Charity Shield. You know, there'll be a Champions League game, and then there'll be some boss friendlies in the summer. Everything is just about, I mean, even that, and that's how we sit here, you know, we've done a video about the friendlies, and we're like, I want to be in that ICC tournament, and you're like, it's a fucking friendly tournament, but that's the mindset you get in. You're like, if you're in that confirms you're a big team, so what we need to be in that, and you're like, but the only way you can be in it is by winning. And it's like, it's all self-petty. It's like we were speaking to the lads before, and they're going to America to watch Liverpool, and you're like, fucking deviled. And that's what I'm saying. It's not about winning trophies anymore. It's about being in this little exclusive club and going, yeah, we're in that club. We're in the Champions League club. We're in the ICC club. We're like one of these teams on FIFA that have got gold stars.
So in some respects, then it's just more important to get in the Champions League.
But that's what they're trying to kid you, Andy. Because
no, but I'm saying.
No, I know that. But that's why that's the balance of the argument. That's what I'm trying to say. They've balanced the argument like that. But who's done that? Well, I tell you who's done that. Nike, Adidas, Gillette,
Sky,
Budweiser,
the big sponsors.
All the big sponsors, because they're not asked about your little pokey thing. It's like the World Cup, sponsor.
It's adverts for them, isn't it? Advertised for them to the biggest audience possible.
And that's why they're like, the Champions League's good, Premier League's good, but actually when you're playing the Premier League, there's another game on in Germany, and I know this German fella is going to watch his own team. He doesn't want to watch you, he wants to watch that Champions League. Well, we'll all watch the Champions League, because there's only so many teams in it, and everyone's watching it, and because it's blanket advertising, doesn't matter if you switch on this game or that game, it's still got all the same billboards around it. And this is where football, and this has gone into the I watched that Planet Football documentary that you did, and it's so clever the way what's his name, Javier, gets in and starts going like, well, we goes to Coke and goes, we're going to get your brand everywhere, in Coke, like, we don't even know what 40 years, and like, yeah, but you will do, because and they're like, and then Adidas and all these brands, and they go, we're going to put your brand everywhere, and that's the birth of it. And then we've seen in the last few years with UEFA were very slow, even though they had the Premier package. They've got all the big teams, they've got the Premier League, they've got the Premier League of the teams, they've got all the big European nations with all the big TV deals and all that. And yet it was only 2-3 years ago that they got a centralised TV deal. Because don't forget, before that, I know we're going quite deep into this conversation, but before that, remember when it was just like everyone played on the Wednesday or the Saturday, and then UEFA went, hang on, why are we playing all our games in one time slot on 2 different days? Let's spread all our games over a week. 2 games over a week. We get maximum TV and hours as well. So you might have a 5 o'clock kickoff, a 7 o'clock kickoff, a 9 o'clock kickoff on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday on that international break. And they go, that's more coverage. We blanket it, so it's only the same sponsors. It's not your own individual bleeding Titan bars and Iron Brew on the side. It's a centralised UEFA. Everything's got UEFA branding on now. Even if after it, the Sky or ITV have got a mic, it's got the UEFA mic thing on it now. It's all branded, and that's led into this new UEFA Nations tournament that will start on the 6th of September. It's coming.
My dad's birthday.
My dad's on the 11th.
It's weird, isn't it?
Wives share birthdays.
Dad.
Fathers share weeks. And it's all about that blanket, so that it's like, well, it's an exclusive club. It's an exclusive, and I know it's different when it's nations, but it's an exclusive club. And we centralise it so that all the money comes here. No, money there, money there, money there, money there, money there, like it used to be. You know, as England would say, well, we're selling our TV rights to you, and we're getting advertisements off you, and this. Now it's like, no, Sky, ITV, you give us the money, UEFA, and we'll give England their money, and that's how it works now. So all the money goes to UEFA, and then UEFA goes blah 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 blah, like FIFA, and we've seen what that's happened to FIFA. But that's the Premier League model as well. That's the Premier League model. All the money comes in, and this is what the clubs are trying to unravel now, and we've seen that with them saying they're going to get more money from the foreign TV market. But this is how they've done it the same way for years, and that's why it's been fair, and that's the Champions League model as well. It's all the money goes into the pot, and then we'll divvy it out. So it's all about now in football, all across the board, it's about being in all these exclusive little gangs. And that's the way football's gone, sadly. It's not, and every time we have a chat with someone, or every time someone has a chat with you, and you go, what do you want for this season from the new manager? And you go, oh, well, you know what, I'd love to be challenging for Europe. And you never go, I'd like to win something. Because that's the mindset they've got us in. They've turned that. They've done that to us. I don't think that's a natural thing. I think they've done that to us by saying it's all about the Champions League. It's all about because the Premier League. Why would the Premier League want you, right, to care about the FA Cup? That's not their trophy. That's nothing to do with you.
No.
That's nothing to do with us. We don't make any money off the FA Cup. That's a pain in the ass. We don't want you going over there. We want you here. Why would you stay here? Because we've got the gateway to the Champions League. Imagine if someone come up and said, win the FA Cup and you get into the Champions League. The Premier League would just go, fuck off. They'd be murder. Because the Champions League go, you think you're taking a place off us? Nah, we'll fight you for that. And that's when there would be problems. So you just thought this was going to be a simple argument over whether you wanted the Premier League trophy, FA Cup trophy, or finish in the Champions League?
There you go. You've had full history lessons and everything.
Dissected.
That's
what we do here on Toffee TV. We don't just skim off the top.
No. Other things are available.
But I would like a trophy for all that, because I've not been sucked into that, because we've never had a real piece of the pie. We've never been in the mix enough to almost be seduced by that. And I think that's where the frustration comes from clubs like Arsenal fans, whereas once you get a taste, it's very much like, you know, Schmach, I'd imagine. Once you get a taste, alright, Haribo. Once you get a taste for Haribo, it's very hard to come off it, right? But if you don't sit there eating Fantastics all day, right, you wouldn't know.
You don't miss it.
You wouldn't know.
What you don't have, you don't miss.
Exactly. So we're not. But then that's the same way as we don't. What you haven't got with trophies, we don't miss. So it's. I suppose.
I think the key thing, that's the Jeremy's question is quite pertinent in terms of one or the other, say. But I think the biggest thing for me, I'll speak for me, not anyone else. Cool. The biggest thing for me is that I see progression. I understand what he's doing, and I see where he's putting key elements in and how he's trying to turn that and what we're doing. If I see that, then I just go, well, let's see where this.
I want a trophy, and I won a trophy, right? Because, but I think, see, this is why I think this is quite interesting. I think if you win a trophy on the progression, and you keep the progression, you'll get to the Champions League, right? But I don't necessarily think it works the other way around.
No,
I don't think if you go for the Champions League as your big,
Nirvana,
then I think a trophy becomes a distraction. I think that becomes no. But what I'm saying is that look at the teams who are going for the Champions League. They pass up the opportunities to win trophies because it's like, well, but we've got so and so.
Yeah, but saying that, look at who's won the FA Cup over the last few years: United, Chelsea, Arsenal. That they've won between the three, haven't they? They've won the last.
No, I know.
Dozen FA
but
Cups.
I do think though that there is this. I think that when they do win it, it's not the absolute be all and end all, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you can. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm saying that someone like Spurs, like Liverpool, like you've mentioned, and I think that's why Mourinho loves the League Cup, because he looks at it and goes, well, it's a trophy in February. Yeah. When the business end comes to it doesn't matter. We've already got a trophy in the cabinet, so it doesn't actually matter. And that's why I'd love the League Cup, because I'd be like, get the League Cup.
Well, you're done, aren't you? February, you're in Europe, so
or Birmingham get relegated.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? Remember Spurs winning it years ago, and I think they won one more game between then and the end of the season. So there's obviously that as well, the foot off the pedal, but I suppose it depends how you get managed, doesn't it? What you're trying to achieve. But
no, I'd love a trophy. I'd love a trophy because not only for myself, I've never watched Everton win a trophy as an adult. Basically, never enjoyed the fruits of winning a trophy
for the kids as well, for everyone.
But that's what I was going to move on to. Anyone who's not seen us win a trophy and not been there and not experienced it and not experienced the bus the day after and all those things that come afterwards if you do it right, just listen, no more bed sheets. Whether you think it's a thing or not, just being able to go, we won it, we won the trophy. Do you know what I mean? We set button, we won a trophy. Because the longer it goes on,
of course, and I agree with it. I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, the bed sheet isn't important, but I suppose it is, because it's something we're getting beaten with, isn't it?
But the other thing about it is, right, the longer you don't win a trophy,
that becomes your new normal.
You become
irrelevant
at Huddersfield. You become a Preston. You become a Newcastle.
Villa.
You become a team that just solely lives off its history. And I don't want to be a team that solely lives off its history. We've got a magnificent history, but I don't want to live off it. No.
It's about making new history, isn't it? That's at the end of the day, that's the thing, isn't it? And we've got to address that. But like I said before, I mean, excuse me, I'd take either of his two options. If they're the only two options available this season, then I'll bite your hand off.
I'll take one of them, yeah. I'll take one of them, definitely.
Either or.
Do you
know what I mean? But like I said, the big thing for me straight off the bat is that we see some progression and we look and go, see what he's doing here, and there's a plan.
It's not one of the options though, is it?
No.
So it's irrelevant.
So
it's irrelevant, isn't it?
So basically either or.
I would like to see progression by winning the League Cup. How about that?
I'd like to win the League Cup and finish fourth.
Win the League Cup, springboard to finishing fourth.
Or top four. I'm not limiting myself to fourth.
No.
Top four. Could be first, it could be third.
But if it's not first, then second, third or fourth, it makes no difference to me.
It's irrelevant.
I mean, second is heartbreak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So third, really.
Just
steady third.
Oozing in on fourth. Just be like, we're alright here.
Oozing in? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oozing?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Probably.
Not cruising in?
No, not cruising in. Don't want to cruise
squeezing in.
Not squeezing in, oozing in.
Oozing in?
Yeah.
I don't think you can oozing in.
I've just done it.
Remember him, Lusney? For Arsenal?
I don't even know where those two things come together.
Well, Uzian, it was like, I was, also like Olav, because his name's Olav.
Uzian? You're mowing down the competition. Sound. There you have it. I hope that answered your question. Jeremy,
Big
or
thanks.
Jezza.
Big thanks to
Jezza from Alice Springs.
Feel free to send us another video going, alright lad, lad, and put your hands down if that's what you want.
Why would you do that?
Well, because
I'm not doing an impression, I'm doing a definitive Australian accent.
So he might do a definitive.
But no, that would just be rude. What I'm doing
isn't rude.
No. If an actor portrays someone in a film and they're doing an Australian accent,
you're an actor now.
Are they being rude to Australians?
Well, if you'd have just gone, hello Jeremy mate, then fine.
That would be a stereotype.
Like, Jezza. Oh, and yours wasn't?
No.
Jez, let us
playing
know.
a part.
Okay.
I'm a dude playing a dude inside another dude. What's that from?
I don't know.
Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Plays an Australian.
Yeah.
Who's playing an American.
Inside
so he's playing a dude inside another dude. There you go.
Seamless link.
So it's not only is this a football history, it's a film history as well.
We thought you'd get a film in somewhere.
Well, you know. Thanks for watching. Bye.